Chefia 1 wiggle.
Hi, chat. Hi, camera. Why are you looking over there? I'm over here. Hi, chat. How are we doing? I'm actually unimpressed with how many sprinkles. I must have done something to Bot de Cuisine. It used to have a ridiculous number of sprinkles. Like, a ridiculous number of sprinkles. Hello, everyone. Welcome in, everyone. Thank you for that resub, Ozzy. Greatly appreciate that. Hello, Will. Hello. Let's see. Who all do we have that's checked in here? Hello, Cosmic. Hello, JK. By the way, JK, your patches went into the mail today. Hello, Ratty Patty. Welcome. How you doing, Buns? Thank you for that follow. I timed the placement of this song perfect. The name of this song is Perfect Espresso, even though we're not making espresso. Chicago style pizza? I didn't know that I had agreed to make casserole. Though you do got me checking the calendar here. I gotta get on my schedule here. I've only got a couple days ahead of here right now. I forgot to get some butter out. I went walking today and my legs hurt. Did the dinner command not update? Damn it. I wrote it. But then I immediately shut down the program. So it may not have taken. Oops. Guess no dinner command tonight. My plans for tonight are, since it's National Mustard Day, I'm going to be doing some mustardy braised pork and then pairing that with some mustardy roasted potatoes and then making slaw along with buns. Making my sandwich buns. Silly me put the pork away in the wrong place when I got home tonight. I didn't serve safe or safely store my pork. I set it on top of the veggies, chat. Chicken and waffles chocolate is weird. I don't know that I would think it's a good thing to try, but I could see it working. Like if I was doing a tasting menu or something like that, someone could probably pull it off. Nope. I got me some crunchy ribs that actually have bones in them because they're just strips of I'm sort of thinking of it as the whole, you can take the almost like chili route with it, where you've got all the, you can put chocolate and chili, and many people actually do put chocolate in their chili to give it like background and depth. And same ways you can with mole sauces. I think it would work much the same way there with chicken and waffles. But thank you for joining in with me, everyone, tonight. Cheers. Good coffee. What do we start with? Pork. Bread's going to be a close second here, though. Couldn't tell if that was lit or not. So just some cheapy pork ribs with the actual shoulder bone in them. They gave me the shoulder bone in all three of them. Yay! Bones in all three of them. But we'll give these a liberal salting. Pan is hot enough, it just doesn't have any oil or fat to sizzle. Yeah. I think that first one's mostly sitting on the bone. I got worked on that pack of meat. They gave me a pack of bones. Bread. We need to get over on the stove. We got the... That's interesting that it played on those speakers. Those speakers should be muted. Anyways. Over on this side, getting started with my tangjong, or however it's pronounced, for the bread. So we got flour. We're going to add a little bit of water. Or we got dairy. Going to add a little bit of water to that. It's almost like we're making a roux for our bread. Turn the heat on this. Should have thought about that. Flour is flammable. I don't know if anyone saw the flame up a little bit, get a little excited there from the flour in the air. There's actually been some huge industrial accidents or industrial fires because flour or sugar mills were not clean, not properly designed. Heat off on that now that it's come up to a boil. A little light on the flour this time, I think, for mine. It's okay, we can make up for that in the next step. It's more that we got that yummy stuff for them to consume. Yep. Probably going to have a lot more stories like that now that the West is that recent Supreme Court ruling made it legal to find homeless that have essentially nowhere else to live. I did it. They've actually made it pretty easy now on the main dashboard of Twitch. The chat window that I have in my main dashboard from Twitch actually has 3 buttons next to your names. One of them being ban, the other one being delete this message, and I'm not quite sure what the one in the center, timeout. So I can do all 3 of those straight just from my dashboard now, which you couldn't do that before. You gotta be quicker. Beat me. And into this mixture, some nice hot water. Little Worcestershire, little soy sauce, and why not? We're gonna add a bunch of mustard later, but let's throw some in there now. Happy National Mustard Day, chat. Why, hello there. Welcome in, Kitchen Confidence. Happy to see you all in here. Thank you for that raid. I'd be making pork sandwiches tonight, making my own buns for the pork sandwiches. Gonna be doing roasted potatoes, gonna be doing a slaw. Welcome in, everyone. We're just getting started with getting our getting our park going. Getting our pork cooking. Little yellow specks in there being a little bit of mustard that I threw in there. Today's National Mustard Day. Or International, or it's Mustard Day. I assume it's National Mustard Day, but it could be International Mustard Day. Thank you so much for that raid, Kitchen Confidence. How did everything turn out? I saw the potatoes. They worked out for you most of the way, a little bit, but I'm sure you could easily plate those nicely. That's the problem with experimenting on stream. You know, there's something you haven't tried like 50 times. Hey, Zeeks. Wow, I'm still having frame loss. So we're going to turn this down. We don't need this at a boil. We don't want this at a boil. We want this simmering. Over here, I have a little bit of flour, water, and dairy that I've thickened up to make for my buns. I'm doing a milk bread style recipe. Overlook scene. Might have enough in here. I grabbed the wrong spoon for this. There are so many fish. Oh, dad joke. Wow. We still got another container in there. And I just got flour all over my cabbage. The world is coming to an end. That's what that beep is. Oh, I forgot to get my yeast going. That's what I'm like. I'm forgetting something. How much water? Ooh. No. I tried. Nice. It's been a minute since I've done some salmon. But if you're unfamiliar with Kitchen Confidence, lovely dude. I think work has been getting in the way of him doing as much streaming, but he does great cooking streams. Actual working as chef cook these days. I just poured the milk into the flour, chat, because I was talking instead of thinking about what I was doing. And so we're just tossing the yeast in. Thank you for the raid, Kitchen Confidence. I hope you have an amazing night. Sounds like you had a very lovely dinner. Gonna reserve this for our egg watch. Chet, can you hold on to this for me? Add in our cooked dairy, water, and flour. It's a little runny. Should be a little bit thicker. I'm just rolling with it, chat. It's alright, the rest of the dough's looking a bit dry tonight, so this is a little bit on the wet side. Now we get our hands dirty. And realize that I didn't need that butter out here getting warm after all. I just thought I did. I can never remember this recipe properly, despite the fact that it's written on a 3x5 card right in front of me. It's always an adventure when I make milk bread. Or half and half bread. Guess who put the flour away? I guess I can use this, it's still clean. I haven't wiped my face all over it yet. Now I will. Scraping everything up that I can here with the spoon. Oh hey, we're not over on the board, are we? Cutting board camera. Cutting board camera. There we go. Zartar. It's the evil version of Zatar. Or is it tartar sauce with Zatar in it? Yeah, I was joking that it was some... Is it actually a different spelling of Zatar? By the way, chat, most of the time that herb is usually just mint. I doubt it. I've made a couple misspellings. I think it's just a different spelling of it. I'll check my official source later. Actually, I should write it down so I actually remember to do that. My worst handwriting ever. Google isn't as good as it used to be either. Though I suspect much of that is them not being able to spy on us as much as they used to. You know, you get both the US and European governments, mostly the European government, cracking down on them. They just lost a big lawsuit today. Never. And even if I did chat, whatever I signed would not be my normal signature. It would be my signature. It wouldn't be my, like, I write this on checks signature. Though at the same time, signatures these days are not nearly as trusted as they used to be. Not gonna happen. This dough, while it probably could use more kneading, is feeling quite amazing right now. It's nice and soft, smooth. Gives a push back. Yeah, you should be careful about that, Buns. There are bots out there listening. I'm gonna let that rest, even though, like I said, that could use more kneading. If you especially, like, did it in a machine. I discovered the downside to this beauty over here is that it only has the one attachment. It doesn't have the dough hook, it doesn't have the paddle. It's just the sort of like semi-paddle, semi-whisk. And it's because it's not built for that type of use. So, $20 mixer may be worth $20. Oops, we need to oil our bowl. Give that a spray of oil. Mix that all around so we get a nice light coat everywhere. So we'll let that hang out for a bit. We'll give that an hour or so. How's our pork looking back here? We've got some movement in the liquid, so we're not cold, but we're not bubbling. So I want to do a little bit higher than that. Put the butter away that I didn't end up using. And I'm going to put the flour away, even though I might need it once more. I don't think I will, though. Let's clean up this pan while it's still easy to do so. got rid of the scrubby just before stream. Stovetop. Okay, I don't actually have that voice command, even though for some reason my brain decided to try that. Vichyssoise. That was one just the other day. I remember because I complained about Vichyssoise because I hate Vichyssoise. And I believe you would too if you had to hand blend in, blender size containers and then hand strain out 50 gallons of it. Have I told that story too many times now, chat? Alright, where are we at with things? Let's prep potatoes. Gonna do the potatoes pretty much the same way I did them the other night with the lamb. I think that turned out really well, other than I don't have lemon juice. But we're gonna par roast these. We're gonna coat them in soy and mustard. I think the plant that I tried to kill the other night may make it. May. I was laying in bed and was going to put a sock on, and I don't know about you, but I have the typical habit of like snapping my socks like they're a whip in order to get them to fully extend out rather than sitting there and trying to make sure that they're... And I whipped that sock back and totally grabbed the last 2 leaves that were on that plant and just... What, was I unclear in my description? But it's got a new, like, leaf bud starting out today. So it's at least trying. It has had this plant. Well, to begin with, it's a clone, not a plant. Or it's a plant that's been started off of a twig, which is not the way this plant should have been treated. I bought it without realizing or knowing what I was getting into, but I've been keeping it and trying to make things work. And because the soil was absolute junk that it was sold to me in, the flower place that I bought it from closed shortly after, so I have a feeling they weren't in the greatest situation financially. So yeah. But the soil that they put in the thing was too dense, was too packed, and so it was getting its roots ruined. Thank you for that resub, Cosmic.
Chefia 1 wiggle, Chefia 1 wiggle, Chefia 1 wiggle, Chefia 1 wiggle.
1 wiggle. 1 wiggle, 1 wiggle. Even that's a little small. I have my orchid, which is not liking life right now. I have had that a good 5 years or so. And right now, none of its leaves are looking happy. It's trying to grow out of the pot. Even though it's an old pasta pot, there's an air gap around the outside of this. So I'm confused how it's not getting enough air. I don't even know what this guy in the back here is, but he's been absolutely loving it. In my little pot that doesn't even have a hole in the bottom, I've got a straw on the side to try and get some air down to the bottom of the roots. I've got another plant over here that has been desperately needing my attention. It's got a lot of dead leaves on it and stuff. And then I've got one next to my bed. That is the one that I was talking about before that has never been in a great position in life. And recently I've not been treating it well. And it mostly gets indirect light, which I wish I could get it some more light. I used to have it out here, and I decided that it wasn't liking it with the light here, even though I think it gets more light over the day over here on top of my freezer, but I think it gets less direct light. I don't know. They're plants, they all have their own rules. These are not part of this. So like last time, just salt and oil. Might as well turn the oven on here. I think I'm going to par cook these like I did last time before coating them in the mustard. And then I'm going to put them in there with the buns when I bake the buns to do its second roast. And actually this pan will work pretty well for this. I was thinking of sheet pan, but I used the little cast iron last time. Oil. Hi, Splits. So that is set to go when well, I'll just throw it in the oven as it preheats. We'll give that 22 minutes since it's preheating. I'm going to use some of this stuff, celery, with my slaw tonight. I'm also going to use some of these. Some of this. Okay, timer is working. Okay. I was worried it wasn't. I need you again, boy. Ooh, new toys. Ugh. YouTube dad joke. YouTube dad joke. Just no. I just did that wrong. I wasn't trying to do that. It did let me know about that. No more nay lovers. I'm more naying that last scramble. Cutting board cam. Cutting board camera. Oven coming the temp to 400. Almost done chopping. You give these all a turn here. Turn that up a bit more. Nice one, JK. Carrot, where are you? There you are, Carrot. Yeah, I guess we'll go this way. It's my last carrot. At least I think. I didn't check the drawer. Well, starting with, it's a lot smaller cut up. We're still going to cook it for a fair amount of time now. Welcome in, they can see me. So this is the beginning to our slaw. We've got onion, green onion, carrot, cabbage, and celery in there. We got my potatoes causing the oven to beep. Yeah, that's, I think, just about right where I want them. Yeah, pretty much right where I want those potatoes. Zoom left. They're looking right now like they could be a great mash. They're cooked through completely. However, at the same time, they are just starting to get their browning, just starting to cook on the outsides. They don't really have any browning at all, but they're just on the edge of being able to. And so that's when we're going to stop these, and we're going to coat those in all sorts of sauce and seasoning and throw them back in there afterward. When we get the buns ready to roast. Toast, roast. It's sort of weird how we have, like, well, I understand why, because probably different origins and all that, but how many different words do we have for just bake? Side dish. Doing pork sandwiches. Today is Mustard Day. I don't know if it's National Mustard Day or International Mustard Day. But it's Mustard Day. So we're doing rolls, homemade rolls. We're doing pork that I'm going to make really mustardy by the time it's on those rolls. We got potatoes that I'm going to coat these in mustard and soy after a little bit here. And we got slaw, which I can hide a little bit more mustard into this, but it's not going to be a major part of this. Actually, that's maybe a bit small for what I want. In order to easily mix them. I've gone and made my earbud silent again. If only I could disable the touch capacitive buttons on my earbuds so that when I reposition them and push them back into my ear, they don't stop the music, they don't change the volume, they don't try and call someone even though they're attached to a phone that would. I wish I could do that, but you actually cannot do that. You might be able to do it with, like, some high-priced Samsung or something like that. It has a, some sort of interface or something, but Ooh, do we want to use yogurt? Let's use some yogurt for this, since we got yogurt in the house. What do I poop on? Yeah, I like mustard. Mayo. Thought I splashed that on me. I didn't. Nope. House of One. Soy sauce. I have not played a sim game since SimCity 2000. Worcestershire. Onion powder. And why not? A little ginger. There's garlic. That's what I was looking for. And I'm out of the other things that I would want to throw in there, which is a dash of cayenne or a little heat of some sort. Do a splash of Tabasco. Splash is about all I got left of Tabasco. Yeah, that would be a no. Especially since I don't really... Yeah, I don't feel like paying for games right now. I'm feeling extremely poor right now, chat. Forgot the honey. I transferred... I don't have any cash right now. And it's not a... like, I transferred money at the beginning of the month, and it just still isn't there. Banks. You know, what is this? You trying to take weekends off, banks? Cheap soy, I wouldn't bother. Quality soy, I would. Absolutely, Semsis. It's like it almost ran out of pepper. I assumed that it was going to be transferred today, but I haven't checked since, but at 3 o'clock it wasn't. Mr. J.G. Wentworth there. Don't know. Usually it's pretty quick. Usually it's not this sort of a thing. Ooh, Buns. Thank you for that gifty.
Dollar message.
Thank you, thank you. Ooh, that's sharp. I guess we'll live with it. But that has got a bite to it. That's going to be our dressing. If you if you hadn't figured that one out, this is going to be our coleslaw dressing. This shirt is perfectly the wrong height for me in counters. Like, it's constantly catching on countertops. I think that one should have been Kava. Anyone Kavaing had a good time? Was that too much of a stretch? It just sort of bubbled up. I assume it's with those people that use Kali call vacation. Actually, I'm very confused at why vodka is there. Oh, it's a word for cow in Spanish. You know, me taking 2-3 years of Spanish, you would think I should know something like that, huh? Saving this just for garnish on the sandwiches. I'm going to add a little more water in with the pork. We can already see this is starting to get there. I mean, it's pulling away from the bone here. It's certainly not tender yet, but it's getting there. That's a lot closer. For those unfamiliar, what I have on there, these are what in the US they commonly sell as country ribs. They're essentially strips. I got sort of boned on this one because I got bones in all three of these. But typically it's just strips cut out of the shoulder or out of the pork butt that are then sold, and people can use them as sort of like quick cheater ribs. They're not really ribs that you have to cook a long time. However, this way we do have to cook them a bit longer. What confused me about vodka being in the scramble is I'm pretty sure that I had given up on 4-letter words around the letter S or so. So if there's any V one, that surprises me, because I definitely gave up on 4-letter. There was just too many of them. Maybe I'll go back to it and we'll add 4-letter words back in there, but what do we got going on here? We got our slaw pretty much done. We need our mustard barbecue sauce for both our taters and our meat. That's basically the last of my soy sauce. And for the record, someone mentioned, I don't know who it was, someone mentioned whether they refrigerate stuff or not. There's a fair number of things that I just throw into my fridge because I've got the room for them and it doesn't hurt. Granted, I don't feel that way about tomatoes, but there's a fair number of things that can be left out that I just throw in there anyways. That's for over our potatoes. Yeah, let's just use honey. I was going to put some brown sugar or sugar in the raw in there, but let's just use some honey. I don't know how long it's been since I owned a honey bear, but I'm absolutely refilling this bad boy. And this is going to be for with our pork. Again, celebrating all that is wonderful about mustard tonight. Garlic powder. Ginger. Red pepper flake. Into chili. Again, wishing I had a little cayenne for with that. And I think it's time to shape our buns. So we've got our milk bread dough that's been poofing just on the counter there. We'll give this a punch down. That wasn't a very impressive punch down. It was a good impression though. Take each of these and reball them up. And then flatten. And over here onto the sheet tray. I know, turning it inside out, it feels a bit barbaric. Give them a little bit more of a stretch out once they're over here in the parchment. Folding the sort of drier side that gets a little, almost more like flaky-like, into the inside there. And then we'll allow these to poof up a bit here on the pan before we throw them in the oven. I'm going to put them over on the oven though so they get a little bit more heat. Ambient heat. So good with that. Good with that. I think we're pretty much set here other than waiting on our buns. We can mix our dressing with our coleslaw. I already tried the dressing. I know this is going to be amazing. It's a bit thin for my liking. Normally I make my coleslaw dressing a bit thicker. Throw a bit more mayo or make my own mayo. Typically make my own mayo. Cheating on this a bit tonight. Keep forgetting I got that in the fridge. Let's see if that's any good still. We'll throw it in tonight's dinner if it is. Yeah. Rip jalapeno. Added a drop or two of half and half to my egg white there for our egg wash. I rarely buy heavy cream. Speaking of that, I pretty much live off of half and half. I keep half and half in the house, obviously, for making coffee. And so, unless it's like something where I'm going to need a decent amount of milk or cream, I just use half and half. Obviously, you can't do things like whipped cream with half and half, but Most other stuff you can. And if you're doing something like a sauce or something along that line, you can just throw a little butter in there along with it. You need more fat. You can't just live with the half and half. I talked about my major news today, being bummed out at banks, and yeah. I was bummed out with my brokerage this morning, too. Apparently, like half of the brokerages in the world broke down this morning. I think it was just the app, though. And worse yet, they didn't, unless someone's leaked it out now, like, they didn't give a, like, this broke, or this broke, or this tool we use broke, or they didn't, they just like, we fix things now, live with it. They can see me. They fixed it at some point in the morning, but like several major, like all of the big name ones, sort of a thing, all had outages this morning. Just by chance this morning. How we doing on the sync tonight, chat? Are we okay with that, or are we way off? I am thinking of taking Thursday next week and redoing this entire machine. Like, I tried and redid OBS the other night, and you know, that alone took me 2-3 hours just redoing OBS. But there's still like, according to OBS, my CPU usage is like 2%, but that's not true. That's never right. Let's pull up Task Manager. If my right click wants to work. Okay, CPU usage in the 70s. Memory below 20%. Ethernet well below max. GPUs at one is at 36% and the other one's at 10%. And I'm still getting slow rendering, and I'm still getting the occasional missed frame from rendering, not from lag. I just don't know where it's coming from. But thank you for letting me know, JK. So our soy mustard concoction for our potatoes. Get them all well coated. We're getting close here on the buns. I'm mostly just waiting until they get a bit smoother from proofing a bit more. I think the oven will get most of what else we need. And we don't need that much. I mean, they're sandwich buns. They don't need to be... Pretty happy with the dough tonight, though. The dough has cooperated, other than being a little bit too dry right off. But for a long time. And what part of the industry are you talking about, too? Because they're all different. Haven't done any industrial food yet. Any product development, anything along that line, but you pretty much name any other position in the kitchen. Industry is a lot different than when I joined it too. Like, they're trying to train a new generation of chefs to, just bear the pain and deal with it. But oh yeah, well I've done front of the house too, but not really for money. And I've never even really tried or applied for any of that. I mean, I technically am supposed to be able to know how to pour wine and all that fun stuff. I mean, I've taken my fair share of wine classes. Serve with the right, all that fun stuff that most restaurants ignore these days. Numbers start at the kitchen or at the front door. The part where I get into trouble with serving is the memory part. Is like, you tell it to me and I've already forgotten it by the time you tell it to me, much like the guys that can sit there and remember an entire table or multiple tables, their entire setup, they deserve it. At the same time, I don't think that any of them should be relying on tips as their wage. I believe in tipping. I don't believe in standardized or that type of tipping, and I cannot stand that our governor here in California has essentially sanctioned restaurants to add added fees to them after banning them, because they passed through a last-minute bill this last California Congress session. I can't stand, like, I don't want, like, I feel like it's the restaurants are lying to me. They're lying to me about the food, true cost of the labor for the food, which hurts the whole industry. Because if people don't realize what it actually costs, like, they're looking at their menus and expecting it to be 20% cheaper than it actually is. And then they get to add another service charge fee on top of that, or maybe even multiple ones on top of that. I believe in tipping for exceptional service, for going above and beyond their normal job, and I believe that they should be paid a higher wage for their normal job. I don't believe in tipped wages. Like, I don't believe in paying people like $2, $3, $4 an hour when regular minimum wage is $15 to $20. And when it comes to getting back a house tip too, I believe that if you're going to tip, you're going to, you know, do this, you should be paying 20% sort of a thing. Yeah, it should be going to the back of the house as well as the front. I say that knowing the majority of state laws won't allow you to even do that. But then again, I don't believe in the 20%, you know, thing to begin with. Like, I'm fully expecting when I go down to TwitchCon, like, the gas lamp district was already, like, fees on top of fees on top of fees, you know, getting the tourists to pay extra because it's the you know, fancy part of town. And now it's just like, they pass a bill that says, hey, you can do this. You know, we fully agree with this. Okay, I think it's time to throw our stuff in the oven here. So we're gonna egg wash our rolls here over on the cutting board. Over on the board. No sesames. Depending on what you're doing, salt's a nice addition here, too. California is overcrowded compared to much of the rest of the world. You can sort of see, like, Texas is heading that way right now. Like, buns in the oven, potatoes in the oven. Thank you, Will. We'll give those 20 minutes. I don't know if this pork's going to be as tender as I want it to be or not tonight, but we're going to go with it when everything else is ready. I actually got a decent night's sleep last night, which is awesome because I really needed that. And when I say a decent night's sleep, it was still a poor night's sleep, but it's better than I've been getting. Sorry, I caught an interesting article that I'm now reading while streaming. I know it's not the greatest viewing for me to sit here and read without chatting. It's not as interesting as I thought it was. I thought they caught someone spying. Nope. Oh yeah, that's the best part about coming back, isn't it, Cosmic? Especially if you've planned ahead and you had your bed nicely made before you left. And coming back to it. That's sort of like my new thing with going on vacation. Bed has to be ready for my return. I was sort of trained that by doing like red-eye air flights and getting back in the middle of the night and like having everything a mess and being like, why did I do this to myself? I actually taught myself that one. I just didn't keep doing it. I'm a supporter of the not making your bed because it allows it to air out and less things to... Yeah. But I'm all about a freshly made bed to go into at night. That's a different thing. But I'm also an advocate for the doing something and getting yourself going first thing in the morning. And if making your bed works for you, all for it. But science says it's safer if you don't. Absolutely will. Yes. Cosmic. No, I don't. I generally, I buy a few other things, and I buy dinners for off nights that are quick and simple, but for the most part, they can see me, I eat what I make on stream. I don't do a lot of breakfast and stuff like that. I typically do coffee. I also typically get up and walk 2-3 miles in the morning, which is what I was sort of that's sort of my get up and going. Like, unless I have that or an appointment or something to get me outside in the sun and breathing air, outside air, I'm pretty much a hermit. I'd actually say that breakfast may be my weakest of the meals that I prepare, though, too. I mean, granted, you can do all sorts of, like, simple baked goods, but when it comes to... mostly when it comes to pancakes, me and pancakes just... I mean, it's simple. It's a pancake. How hard can it be? And just screw it up every time. Got 12 more minutes there on our buns in the oven. Looks like my choice for VP isn't going to get picked, which I didn't really expect him to get picked anyways, but I was sort of hopeful Mark Kelly would do that, but his position is so contested, and but he would have worked so well with the whole Arizona Borda thing, being a previous astronaut and fighter pilot. Like, I don't even really think I recognize the other two that well, so I don't really have opinion on them. That it is. I'm debating what I want to do for that. I put it on the calendar. I was sort of thinking of trying to make simple, butter cookies or something that I could hand out. Will you? I'm probably going to be there at least one day, if not... Well, I'll probably be at TwitchCon all 3 days at some point. And I got tickets to the market night thingy. I don't know if that's going to be a horrible waste or go. It could be horrible. It could be great. They're including drinks in the price for joining the nighttime party, and if they're Dixie cup glasses of booze, of well booze. I mean, I'm not expecting them to break out the expensive stuff, but. Oh, we're getting there. This one needs a little more. I will try and keep the people apprised of where I'm heading. I haven't even really looked at the schedule to see, you know, like usually there's a couple of things of the meetings and stuff like that. They'll show like programming or things that they're coming up with or stuff like that that I'll want to go and check out. Awesome. Yeah, I had a great time last time in San Diego. Got to meet all sorts of people I didn't expect to see. It was awesome. I think I'm going to pull the pork out of the liquid here now. We're just going to call it here. It's probably needing a bit longer, but I'm going to live with it. Because I want to reduce this down. See if I can't reduce this down to something useful. It is not cheap, yeah. Awesome, Will. Yeah, I'll definitely let people know via the Discord. Any place that I'm planning on hitting up there. Wonder if the breakfast place I went to last time there is still gonna be there. That place was sort of cool for being just a simple breakfast place, middle of the gas lamp. Speaking of breakfast. Cocina. Just to save myself the time with this. We got all the bone out of it, so that all now nicely pull apart. Piece of cartilage there. This is looking like the best rib of the bunch. Certainly the best cooked of the bunch. And most tender of the bunch. Warm. Could be very warm. It's San Diego. It's on the coast, so, and the convention center is right on the coast too. But then again, San Diego is just short of being a desert, just like LA. I wanted to see if we could get this reduced down to something that was thick enough that we can mix with the other sauce. We'll see how this looks here in a minute. It's already reduced down considerably from where it was before. Yeah, actually, I was saying it the other night on stream. Someone else was talking about going there. I think the real hack there is if you own a boat, or you can rent a boat in the harbor, or rent a slip in the harbor, or something along that line. I think that's what a number of the stars do. The people that want to stay away from the crowds but need to be there, sort of a thing. Because the convention center backs right up to the San Diego harbor. And then the other side of the convention center is the Gaslamp District, which is all the close hotels and a whole bunch of overpriced restaurants, and the block where they're having the block party. They normally have stuff in the baseball park, which is right there too, but there's baseball games the whole weekend, so... Nice. I think our buns are done. Them be some buns. I'm still leaving the potatoes in there for another couple of minutes. Bottom. That one split. The other one split. No, this one didn't split. We'll leave it at 2. Let's take a closer look at these potatoes. Those are pretty close. I think I'm going to give those 5 minutes. That'll give us another couple minutes for this. I'm gonna put some sprouts on my sandwiches. Actually, this is a little bit more normal for me, they can see me. I'm usually 2.5 to 3 hours on my streams. It's more that I've been quick lately. Spray those with some olive oil. And oddly enough, when I'm not streaming, like, I don't tend to, like, I tend to eat even later. I think I need more sprouts. Like the nice vibrant red beet sprouts they got in there. At least I think they're beet sprouts. Let's see. Seasonal mix of broccoli, beet. Yep, they're beet sprouts. Purple kohlrabi. Could be that, but I don't think so. Red cabbage. Bit more of a spray down. Bit more salt. Get some whisk action going on this. Get that mustard mix in. over on the stove. The sauce we got going here is just the reduction from the pork, so the water, Worcestershire, soy sauce, mustard. I'm going to mix this with that. Turn the oven off. Gonna add all that pork back in with our sauce here. Done with the whisk. Heat off. And just coat all of that pork. Potatoes are out of the oven. Buns. Hi, buns. Yeah, I rarely love anything. Like, there's always, like, I could have done this, I could have done that. Why didn't I try that? Why didn't you spend a little more time on that? Ah. That wasn't supposed to go there. It's supposed to go there. Doing this less because I want a bunch of mayo on all of this, and more because we want to sort of lock in the separation between our pork and our But if you're wondering about all the dishes over here, which I'm now realizing what you were really asking, yes, I hate doing dishes. I bought or rented this house initially without a dishwasher in it, thinking that it was a good thing for me to have that activity to do, knowing that I was going to cook here a lot. However, after living here 14, 15, 16 something years, I want a dishwasher. Those are pickles. We're not anti-pickles with our pork, are we, chat? Don't fall out, earbud. You kidding me? Which one's the top? doesn't want to stay in there. Was that a safe recovery, chat? From doing that upside down? We've got our... There we go. I probably won't take up both of those sandwiches, but we'll be close. Well, that one, this, the leftover pork on the stove, the 2 other buns, the rest of the potatoes. Oh yeah, phone's over here now. Throwing the rest of those greens in with the pork. And so there we have it, chat. Happy Mustard Day. Looking to see who's on tonight. I think we'll leave it right there, folks. Oh, what do we got for our winner for tomorrow night, or for Wednesday? Wednesday night, we're going to be doing marshmallows as the ingredient challenge. So I'll have to use marshmallows in dinner and dessert on Wednesday. And then, like I said, Thursday, I'm going to wipe out this machine and try and rebuild it all overnight. Hopefully I'll be back here on Friday for pasta fagioli. Otherwise, probably Saturday or whenever I can get back here. We'll be doing pasta fagioli. And I got to fill out my calendar beyond that. I didn't realize that I was slacking, but I got to add some more dates coming up here. you got ideas of things I should try, throw them in the Discord. It might happen, might not. No promises. I hope you all have an amazing week. I hope you have a great night. Good night, everyone.